Oh, it's been so long, boys.
Did you miss us?
So is this episode 51? Little bonus episode.
I guess you could do them in reverse order just to make everyone freak out.
This is now
to make our
episode
long
50.
lost fans.
Yeah.
No, just keep it calling it 51, but just do 51 before 50.
Gotcha. Well,
but like minutes before, not like days before. Like literally minutes to see who freaks out.
once again, this is Three Brothers Talking. I'm David.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Jeremy.
And we're just doing a little bonus episode here because we are getting down to a crucial part of the season, the seasons that is near and dear to all of us, and that is football season. And that is the professional football season.
Yes.
And so, Andrew, why don't you kind of take it away? You know, why don't you tell us? Why don't you just tell?
One?
Yeah, just tell us. Yeah, you take the reins. You take the reins.
Well, what we're talking about here now is basically just I thought we could have a little go around of some of our favorite NFL teams and then some others that we just have thoughts about, but have a little quarterback controversy discussion.
Everybody's favorite game.
Do we actually have a controversy in some of these places, or do you just like?
Well, like
you want to
get our thoughts on who plays
down.
QB for some of these teams, looking ahead to next year because we are getting down to the end of our year here.
Big.
Yeah, and also like getting a little bit as far as playoff outlook, what we think might play out. I don't know. I mean, as of right now, I think I'm the only supporting team with the Steelers that has clinched a playoff berth.
Well, you know, we are 7-7.
We know David
so
is not headed that way.
That's right.
Jeremy still has potential, right?
Matt Nagy brought up playoffs last week, and I'm like, dude, you're 6-7.
You guys are still in it, though, right?
Close.
Like you have a shot.
Well, yeah, we got to beat the Packers one more time. It's not
mathematically,
okay.
I guess.
It could happen.
Mathematically, you're not eliminated, but again, Trubisky's your quarterback. So,
is that you're already digging into the controversy thing here? You're already kicking me when I'm
This is everybody's favorite game. It's either what coaches will be fired or what quarterbacks will be replaced.
Gosh, I hope Nagy's fired.
Yeah.
So
we can get into a little bit of that.
All right.
So, yeah. So, is anybody...
I feel bad that we're recording things about people should be fired from their jobs.
How about we'll toss out...
We're not saying who should be. We're saying who we think will be.
We're not calling for anyone's jobs. Yeah.
Oh, we would.
I'm sure the McCaskies are listening to me.
Yeah, we would hate to do
Chicago,
that.
And they're going to be like, oh, what does Jeremy say about the Bears?
We hate to disrupt somebody's, way of making a living.
That's not the Christmas spirit.
But we're saying what is likely to happen, as in we have no actual input into this decision.
Okay. So we're going to go team by team. Andrew's going to tell us where to go.
And why don't we start with Jeremy's beloved Bears? Just so he is a Bears fan.
Bears.
For all the listeners out there, and we'll just get them out of the way, and then we'll move on.
I love to be disappointed.
Here's what's funny. Andrew had us all make some like mini lists of like, here's where I think it's going to go. That way we could see if we answered differently. And I didn't even put the Bears on my list because I thought it was such a boring question.
Well,
of course
I want Jeremy's opinion, and then we can hop around to teams that actually probably will make some dramatic
Jeremy,
moves.
just know that I considered my team is woefully bad every year, the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yet I considered your team too boring to answer the question.
Yeah, well, you did just get a new quarterback. We have not drafted a quarterback since we drafted
Mitch Trubisky
over Deshaun Watson.
The franchise, as they call him.
And Patrick Mahomes.
They call him the franchise, yeah.
My question to you is, what did the Bears do with Trubisky?
All right, so this is what's going to happen with Trubisky. He will get a deal for next year. It'll be low. It'll be a 1-year contract.
A 1-year deal?
They will draft high.
Okay.
Unless, I can't remember if Foles is under another year for contract. If Foles is under another year, I don't know. Because they restructured him since he came from Jacksonville. But he's making bank.
Okay.
So either him or Trubisky's on contract. They draft. If they don't draft, I will be really angry.
You think that they'll...
Because they need to draft someone.
But do you think...
They never drafted anyone.
Do you think that they will...
Bring a 5th round.
Do you think that they will be aggressive enough to get a good draft pick? for a quarterback.
I think they have to. I think both Matt Nagy
But will they?
and Ryan Pace.
But
I think that if Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy want to keep their jobs, if they have their jobs,
won't.
we're not saying one or the other.
so this is
They need to draft big.
So this is a tough question though, because you are also you have not been eliminated from playoff contention. So as a fan,
worse, man.
would you rather them just pack it in for the year?
No. As a competitor, I don't want anyone to pack
Because
it in for the year.
that's gonna
if you
disrupt
lose
your draft
outright,
choice.
then that's something different.
That's going to disrupt your draft choice then.
That's fine. I'd rather sit there and say we gave it all out every game. Especially when I hate the Packers and the Vikings and the Lions. I want to kill
as a
them all the
Bengals
time.
fan, I'm well equipped and well used to rooting for my team to lose.
Well, this is also the fact that I know the Bears would screw that up and still end up like 7.
Yeah, they might draft a Trubisky again.
Yeah.
They drafted that draft. They traded up one
To number 2 overall, right?
From 3 to 2.
Couldn't they have had Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have and Patrick Mahomes. They could have
had
either of
they
them
could
were
have had
available.
just a nice tight end, even or like a good
They could
running
have had
back.
so many other things, but no. John Fox. I will never forget them. John Fox was the coach. It was Ryan Pace's first year. They asked John Fox about Mitchell Trubisky. He had no idea what to say.
Yeah.
Because he had no idea they were going to draft him.
That's just
Because
so
no one knew they were
it's
going to
so
draft
funny.
him.
I mean, I was like hindsight, obviously, but yeah, you couldn't.
hindsight.
You
At
couldn't
that
predict.
moment, you knew he was not going to.
Nobody knew that like Patrick Mahomes was going to be the player that
You knew he was
turned
gonna be
out
better
to
than-
But yeah, like
But you
looking
did know.
back, you look at him now and you're like, you got Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes sitting there.
I'll challenge that. Because everyone would know that a guy who started 11 games at UNC, only 11 games at UNC, was not going to be better than 2 years of Patrick Mahomes, especially Deshaun Watson, who went and beat Ohio State.
He had like a 50% completion percentage in that time too.
Yeah, at UNC.
Yeah.
So, yes, I can definitively say that was a terrible draft choice.
My quick answer.
And they should have never done
My
it.
quick answer on the Bears is that I think they'll have a new GM, a new coach, and a new quarterback.
Yeah.
I hope all those things happen.
So
See, I was like, I would think,
we don't want to say that, but I think it could happen.
I would think that
And I wouldn't be upset.
not calling for anybody's job. No,
Yeah.
just saying.
the issue is that I think they're gonna have to re-sign Trubisky as a bridge because I don't think at this point you're gonna get a whole lot for him.
Unless you trade up like crazy and get a big draft choice this year, which they
So-
won't be able to do because they still are on the Khalil Mack trade.
Yeah.
This is the last year for that.
All right. So next team. This is one that I've always kind of admired, but the Detroit Lions. And just for the
Admired.
fact,
What did you admire? about
I
what's that
admire.
mean?
I'm saying on behalf of the quarterback because I've actually respected
Fat
Matt
Matthews.
Stafford
Yeah,
a
same.
heck of a lot, and I think that if you put him on a winning roster, he could be a Super Bowl winning quarterback with what he can do. I mean, his arm is ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Matt Stafford is, I think, he is going to be 34, 35 next
Not that
year.
old.
Um,
But he's been hit a lot.
Do you want me to make a prediction on Matt Stafford or on the Lions? I've got both.
either one. Yeah.
Lions, obviously, they already got rid of their coach. They're going to start from square one. They're going to get rid of Matt Stafford.
Again.
I think it'll be a mutual parting of ways.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah. And
Come to Chicago,
I
man.
think,
Yeah.
I
Jeremy
don't
would
think,
love that.
I don't think Chicago will want to afford
But
him.
they can't afford
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He's the last year that they had the big contracts.
Yeah.
He signed a big deal.
Yeah.
that
So I
year,
think-
he's already going to be.
I think Matt Stafford, and I would love to see this. One potentially, this opens up other teams' conversations. One potentially is the Indianapolis Colts.
Yep.
No.
Two,
With old man River gone.
he's gone. Number
River's
two,
gone.
Drew Brees will retire. And Matt Stafford will go to the Saints and win a Super Bowl immediately.
Dang. Okay, that would actually be Matthew Stafford.
He
Actually
would
super
kill it with
exciting.
Sean Payton.
And
He would.
in Sean Payton's office, especially in you have a dome.
you got
still.
Michael Thomas there. Yeah.
Because it's not Taysom
Yeah.
Hill and it's not Jameis
Yeah.
It'd
Winston.
be electric.
The Saints are gonna. I would bet a lot of money that Drew Brees is gonna retire.
Oh, yeah. Taysom Hill is not the
neither of those quarterbacks are going to be on a roster.
We all know.
And New Orleans is not going to have a good draft pick to pick a good quarterback. They're going to have to go to a veteran. And I think that Matt Stafford would kill it.
I would actually like to see that. I think that'd be exciting.
That would be exciting. I like that. I like that take.
As a Bears fan, who's like the Lions.
Everything I've heard from the Saints is that they are thinking that Taysom Hill is the future.
Well,
I don't see it.
Good for them.
I don't. That's fine. If they don't want to win a Super Bowl again.
Yeah, but
I just don't think he's not the quarterback that's going to win.
He's not a quarterback. He's a tight end.
He played decently well here while Breeze was out.
But he's not a full-time person.
I don't know. I mean, and that's where if you get into the situation where you have the proven commodity of a Matt Stafford who can, he can light up from with his arm, then you plug him in. I think, I was like, they could be Super Bowl favorites pretty quickly.
I just want to say that was a good take.
That was a pretty good take. I didn't see that.
If it happens,
that's a good hot take.
We're the first ones to say it.
We're going to have to play this back if this does transpire. All right. So then moving on, let's take up, how about Cam in New England?
Back to the draft.
Yeah, they're going to the draft.
And they're not bringing Cam back. So is Cam out of the league or is he moving on somewhere?
Someone will pay for him.
The Bears.
Jacksonville or someone.
Bears pick up Cam Newton.
Okay, I thought that they might make a play this past year, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I thought they could get him cheap and he would have fit enough of Trubisky style a little better. But also, I don't know, because Cam was Cam. I thought they would have made the play last year. They won't make it next year. There's no way. Either you're going to re-sign Trubisky and Foles again and just go with it. Hope for the best. You're not making a splash with Cam Newton.
I think as of today, the Patriots are eliminated from the playoffs, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
I think they're going to rebuild.
That's weird.
Yeah, I think they're going to.
Yeah,
they're going to pull it. Circle the wagons and go new.
Give Belichick a chance to restart. So
yeah, which they need. I was like, honestly, Belichick always turns these players that you see nothing from into something. But yeah, I was like, that whole roster needs help.
I might try out.
They need skill position guys. They need
everything
across the board now. Yeah. All right.
Do you think Brady, how many of the years does Brady have, by the way, with Tampa Bay?
Oh, he was on my list.
He signed a 2-year deal.
I think he'll retire next year. I think the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
My prediction, not quarterback themed. Next year, the Buccaneers will have the same quarterback, the same coach, pretty much the same team, because they'll think, oh, we'll be just as good, if not better, as this year. We'll just run it back. They won't be. Yeah. They'll be.
Give them some more time to gel.
And I think that they will still just not win. I don't think they'll win this year. I don't think they'll win next year. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, I was like, I think he's still got another year there. They're not gonna. They're not gonna do anything with that contract.
Bruce Arians would go before Tom Brady went.
And the franchise, I think, is fine with not winning a Super Bowl, but with all the hype and everything that those big names keep around that franchise for another year. Yeah. All right, then.
Oh, go ahead. I have one.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
I was gonna ask what you think of the Falcons.
I think they'll keep Matt Ryan. Well, hold on.
How old is Matt Ryan going to be?
I don't know. If we had these computers, we might be able to look it up.
I'll look it up in my studio.
These are vast Wikipedia in your studio.
35, 36?
He's exactly 35.
For years, you have heard the Matty Ice thing, and this year you'll hear anything.
So here's one. Matt Ryan has a big contract.
Yeah.
One thing that could be possible. The Falcons shouldn't just get rid of him. I don't think they can.
Nah.
But I think
you could get something.
I think a team like the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts, I think Phillip Rivers is going to retire. The Colts are too good to draft a quarterback because they're not going to get a good quarterback in the draft. They're too good. They have too many wins. So I could see them making a play for a Matt Ryan, making a bit of a trade for some draft picks for Matt Ryan or something.
Yeah.
Or a quarterback like Matt Ryan.
Gosh, every time you say these, I could picture the Bears doing something.
Even with Indianapolis,
I think for the Colts that'd be a good move.
They both.
I think for the Colts that'd be a great move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you think because Phillip Rivers right now is what, 38, 39?
Old.
Yeah. And so,
he looks it too. He looks it.
It buys you a couple years. Matt Ryan can still, get all kinds of completions. Yeah, I could see that. What do you think then? Do the Jets do anything with Sam Darnold?
No.
What are they?
I think they stay the path.
He's somewhere else on some other roster next year. That's what I think.
You think
but
so?
I don't think.
Because the Jets are going for a new quarterback.
They'll have Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to make
a new coach, a new GM. Trevor Lawrence.
The Jets actually won as we recorded this? The Jets won today, and the Jags also only have one win, right?
I think the Jags going to move to London ever. They keep saying that's going to happen.
No,
the Jags have like half their home games in London now.
Yeah, so you could have, you got what, 2 weeks remaining?
Yeah.
Or so you could have actually a battle between who gets Trevor Lawrence there.
I think Trevor Lawrence will go number 1, and then I think Justin Fields will go number 2. So I was picturing Justin Fields in Jacksonville.
Either or and those
what's the Florida quarterback?
Could flip potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll both start from ground zero, both of those teams.
What about Kyle? What year is Kyle Trask for Florida?
I don't know.
He's a junior, I think.
Yeah, he'll get a
pretty
high draft pick. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's up there in the Heisman talks.
Yeah. I just think it'll be Fields. I think that Fields has a big benefit when people like Lamar Jackson and Kylie.
Kylie.
What's his name? Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
While they're killing it in the league, I think that Justin gets a big advantage from that.
I think he has, and I think he's. I don't know. I'm still not Kyler Murray.
He's not better than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's really good. Kyler Murray has a.
I don't know. I guess I haven't watched a ton of the.
Kyler Murray has he has a Patrick Mahomes type of arm. He has an incredibly strong arm.
On his frame, it's ridiculous how he can air it.
I guess that's what I'm surprised about. I really thought going in the year Kyler Murray would be like, not walking at this point.
Yeah,
just from the standpoint of him getting hit eventually.
Guy can ball.
What about God, I had to tip my tongue. I was trying to.
I think that the Jets will have Eric Bieniemy as their head coach.
Bieniemy finally gets his shot.
I think so. But if he's smart, if Eric Bieniemy is smart, he'll go to like a team that's much better.
Like Chicago.
Do you think the Jets already have that? Do you think the Jets already have something worked out in the background and they're just waiting? Or is it really that they haven't, like...
I think that they know that Adam Gase gives them the best chance to lose.
Well, Adam Gase is not that good of a coach to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they hired him.
I think that they're like, let's just ride it out. So,
yeah.
So what's going on in Jimmy World down in Dallas?
Jerry World?
Jerry World. Jimmy was the old coach. Jimmy Johnson.
I was going to say, we're talking Garoppolo.
I knew that wasn't right. The minute I said it, I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
I think Dak Prescott will be their quarterback next year. I don't think they won't be in a position to draft a good quarterback, and they won't have the cap space or the desire to trade or sign a really expensive quarterback. So I think it's like, Dak is good. Let's just keep Dak.
I think honestly too, that roster should stay pretty much intact. He's still, and like they drafted pretty well this past year. Like CeeDee Lamb, I think is a beast. You keep Cooper and Gallup there. Like you've got a stud receiving core. You keep Zeke there, obviously, like that's a winning formula. So I don't think they shake it up too much.
I think it's more likely that they have a new coach than a new quarterback.
Yeah.
There's another take.
Ooh, McCarthy.
I can see it. Again, they just got McCarthy.
They gave him a huge
McCarthy
contract
wowed them
too.
like in one day.
I just think they've been so bad.
Didn't they give him like a 5-year deal or something?
Probably.
Like that?
Yeah. After like one meeting with Jerry Jones, it was like a backdoor. They had like a barbecue and they were best friends.
Yeah. The joke was that they had a sleepover or something like that, and then they decided
that's what it was.
Yeah. And that's not a joke, by the way. I believe the story is literally
legit what happened.
Literally that he visited Jerry Jones's house and he spent the night there.
Yep. And like it was a Monday after he got hired.
They're just best buds, you know. Andrew, you got any other ones?
The last one I had. Do you think anybody is Sam Darnold a starting quarterback next year?
I'll take him.
You'll take him? Yeah.
I don't know. I think that he could be big. I don't know. I guess he is one of those. You have some of the huge arm that everyone wants to sit there and say like he can make it. But I think he needs a lot more talent around him.
I've got to take. Yeah. Carolina Panthers. Sam Darnold's on the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, I have a question about the Panthers when we get there.
I like Teddy Bridgewater, by the way, but he hasn't played that well. He hasn't played that well this year. So maybe Matt Rule, if he can't draft a quarterback he loves, is like, this Sam Darnold guy's probably not horrible.
Sammy D.
But Jeremy, what's your take on the Panthers?
Well, Christian McCarthy, gosh.
My goodness.
McCaffrey. I'm struggling tonight. I'm sorry. Christian McCaffrey, will he ever finish an entire season?
No. You should never pay. You should never pay a running back that much money. Yeah.
No.
Never, ever.
Will he ever finish? Okay. Over under on how many games next year McCaffrey plays.
I'm going to take a drink every time Jeremy says McCarthy.
Yeah. That's a very sore subject for me because he's the sole reason.
I know. I have him number one, and like my entire roster share in fantasy went to.
Yeah, and I was all set up and hyped for him to come back after the bye week and like see me through to the playoff victory, and then he's still out. So,
yep. Over under on half the season next year, he's out or in.
Over, we'll go in, but not. I'd say less than 12 games. 12 games is the over under for me. I'd put it right at 12. But
one thing that I don't know about you guys, but one thing I was very impressed. I got to watch a little bit the other night of the Chargers game, and
Justin Herbert.
I had no thought that Justin Herbert was going to be a legit NFL quarterback,
but he is.
Yeah, like he can air it out, and that dude's going to be legit.
He is what we call very good.
Yeah.
I think he'll be good next year too.
Chargers made a good move leaving Philip Rivers when they did. I was good for Philip Rivers leaving.
They need a new coach. It
was a mutual party. They needed new coaching. They needed a lot of new things, and they had the right choice. I think it was a good choice. Too. Need a lot of fans. You mean LA is not the most hot spot for fans?
Not for the Chargers.
Two teams in the same city.
Here's my take. Yeah. My take on Andrew's team. The Steelers will draft a quarterback this year.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah, they will draft one. And I don't know.
He'll sit.
Big Ben.
I don't know how many years Big Ben will continue to play, but they'll draft this year.
He'll take 6 months and he'll think, or however long it is, and he'll flirt with retirement again. But then he'll realize that it's $24 million he's walking away from.
Tough to say no.
It's tough to walk away from.
Yeah,
it's tough.
So I think he'll still have one more year, and then hopefully. Because I'm not sold on anybody else that we have on the roster. You've seen what that results in with Big Ben being out. So they need a draft for that next guy.
It's going to be the dude from like Wyoming or whoever, like North Dakota State, Trey Lance, something like that. Lance. Now he might go too high.
I was like, they'll be too far deep for that. But
what about Lamar Jackson next year?
He'll still be a starter. Yeah, he's not going to.
Do you think he's going to be as prolific next year as he was? Like, I don't know.
I mean,
what are your thoughts on Lamar?
He regressed a little in the passing this year. I have him in fantasy.
But their whole team kind of.
But their whole team is down.
Bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's an unprecedented year.
It is. Here's
like you say he regressed as a passer, but yet he's also leading the NFL as far as QB rush yards. So he has that dual. He has that ability to make plays otherwise. So
he can go to Chicago. I'll take him.
I don't know. Mitch is pretty mobile. Mobile Mitch. That's what they call him.
Mobile Mitchell.
Here's some quick ones I thought of. The Washington football team Name redacted.
Oh.
What will their name be next year, and who will their quarterback be? I don't think it's Dwayne Haskins because I don't think Ron Rivera likes him at all.
No. I agree with that.
Dwayne could pop up. I could see Dwayne popping up on another team.
He'll get signed somewhere else. I was like, he had a decent outing today, even in their game.
Dwayne Haskins traded to Pittsburgh, backup for Big Ben. And then he takes over
their system better.
I honestly wouldn't mind that, at least as like a try it out. Or like see.
Or if he was a backup, if he had a year behind Roethlisberger, you'd be fine.
Hey, he's got a heck of an arm.
Yep. He's also very big, just like Big Ben.
He's a big guy.
Just like Big Ben.
Hard to bring down.
It was like when Byron left.
He's a little more mobile as far as overall. He's a little more mobile than Big Ben.
Not tough to do.
What about? Okay.
Not a hard box to check.
When you're done with your questions, I want to bridge the gap to another quick topic, Dave.
So I don't know who starts for Washington next year. Maybe Alex Smith again. Maybe they draft. Maybe they trade.
Alex Smith will be there. They draft. I guarantee it.
Yeah. I could see it it'll be Alex Smith, and then it'll be somebody they take a chance on under Alex Smith. And Alex Smith will be like, train this guy up to take over for you. Last one for me, Las Vegas Raiders. Which still feels weird to me. It should be Oakland, but
it feels like an XFL team or something still. Las Vegas Raiders.
So, Oakland, the Oakland Raiders, I think that they'll have Marcus Mariota as their starter. And I think
as their starter?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I think that
that'd be bold.
Is Derek Carr out for a long time?
I believe Derek Carr is in the last year of his deal. And so my take here is that Marcus Mariota runs the Raiders because Gruden is going to fall in love with him. And then Derek Carr moves on over to an AFC West rival, the Broncos, because the Broncos are going to be getting rid of Drew Lock. They're not going to want to draft anybody because they stink at drafting quarterbacks. And then they take Derek Carr because John Elway will say, this is what John Elway does. He gets okay veterans from other teams. And you know what, though? I think Derek Carr can be sneaky good. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think he could. If you have the right people around him, he could be
Wouldn't surprise me if Derek Carr is on like a Broncos or a Colts or or even a Bears, honestly. It wouldn't surprise me if he's on one of those teams.
He could fit different teams. He can fit a lot of different systems, I think. I think he has enough.
I could see
and he's not bad. He's not bad.
To fit. No, I think he'll fit in a lot of places.
My hot take was going to be that I think Gruden, because he has that big, long, guaranteed contract with the Raiders. He's got full reign over the roster, all that control. I was going to say he takes a shot on the project of Sam Darnold. And tries to bring him
He didn't love him
because he wouldn't have to give up a whole lot to get him.
It's true.
And he would love the project of trying to make something out of him, I think.
I can see that.
And that, I was like, I could see that happening. I could also see Derek Carr moving on to another team.
I can see him in the blue and orange in Denver, man. I can see it.
I have heard a lot that Gruden could also like restoring Mariota's career because Gruden loved Mariota coming out of college.
Yeah.
So, that's interesting.
Okay. Next question. Cardale Jones, where does he go? Former XFL star from the the DC Defenders.
Bad news for Cardale.
Is he playing anywhere?
Unfortunately, he's staying on the couch.
Philadelphia. He's on the Eagles.
Armchair quarterbacking still.
Yeah. Philadelphia Eagles. Last one, Andrew. Who's going to be starting there?
I think the Eagles are going to stick with Hurts.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and I think that Wentz will move on somewhere, likely being a backup.
I could see Wentz. Going somewhere and starting.
Or the Wentz go to
half the year. He could start as long as he's healthy.
Yeah. Or the Wentz could go to the Bears or to.
The Bears keep coming up.
Yeah.
You know what that means? They're going to win the Super Bowl.
And if the Bears, so this year I just want them to re-sign Allen Robinson because he is
He's turned out to be a stud.
No, Jeremy.
He has the fewest drop passes of anyone the last
Jeremy,
3
let
years.
me tell you how to be a fan of a
That's
bad team.
fantastic stat. Of a Mitch Trubisky. Like, your quarterback is Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
And you have the
tough.
least drop
Well, that's
passes.
because so few have been accurate enough to be considered drops.
Well, he still has
don't
over
consider
1,000
them
yards the
attempts.
past 3 years. So he still has a decent yard. Like, that's my one way. If they sign him and get any other,
Jeremy,
get a new coaching
you want your
staff
team
in,
to
I'll be
bottom
happy.
out completely, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Look, listen to me.
I don't
My
like
team
that.
has Joe
I don't
Burrow
like
now.
it.
David's
You
in
want
the
your team
promised
to
land
bottom
now.
out completely, and so you can build it back up.
I hate that so much.
My only worry,
It's one thing if like he has to lose.
I'm like,
we'll never be that bad. This is we will never be that
it can
bad
happen.
because we'll always end up beating like the Lions or the Vikings
Yeah.
at least once in the year.
Lions.
Like no matter what, it'll happen.
Yeah, I think the Lions will be bad next year. But
That would be
Like, we're guaranteed
I'm gonna
at least
laugh.
one win a
We're
year.
we're gonna look back at this episode, and Jeremy might be so happy or something if the Bears were to make the move.
Phillip Rivers,
And no, I was gonna say go after Matt Stafford
that would be great.
and brought him in.
They're gonna bring Jay Cutler back
Jay Cutler.
out of retirement.
all right. Last
but
question.
Honestly, my thoughts of Matt Stafford was that either the Bears go after him or potentially Denver goes after
He won't
him.
go to the Bears. He'll go to Denver before
because
that.
Elway finally wants to lock in a true quarterback that's a known name, and that could be his target.
All right. Last question, real quick. Shoot from the hip. Who wins the Super Bowl this year? I think it's the Green Bay Packers. Done. Green Bay Packers beat the Chiefs
Beat the
in the
Chiefs?
Super Bowl.
I think, I think the Chiefs are going to be in it. It's tough to say they will lose to anyone.
That's true.
I'm going to say right now, looking at it, that the Chiefs take it again.
Okay.
But
Jeremy,
I think
gonna say the
the
Chiefs.
Packers have a really good shot if I'm going to take anybody from the West.
I can't say the Packers ever, so the Chiefs.
all right. There you have it. Good work, guys. We just
Man, we should be a sports podcast.
sports
too.
podcast.
We can write a book and do sports podcasts.
That's right. Big plans for 2021.
In a big new book.
And a big new book, big new podcast, big
That's
new
really,
market.
I'm really sad that you just pitched that question, and I didn't even think that I'm not even considering that the Steelers could
Yeah.
do it, even though.
I mean,
even
I was going
though
to say
they're
the
lost.
Bears, but I thought it'd just be too
Yeah, I
much
was
of a
like,
lofty
I
dream.
hope the
We all knew that
Steelers
wouldn't
do,
happen.
obviously, but they haven't looked good for literally the last
We should
4 weeks.
we should brush up on minor league baseball, by the way, and do a minor league baseball episode. That'd be fun.
Well, the world is hurting for it
Go
because the
Clippers.
world didn't get any minor league baseball in 2020.
That's true.
So
They miss it.
untapped
They need
potential.
Yeah.
It's a market we can work our way
That's
in.
right. The market wants it. All right.
It's one thing.
Well, this has been bonus episode 51, Three Brothers talking about sports in the NFL.
Yeah.
But we'll see how many of these things come true. We'll see
Yeah.
what kind of batting average we had at the end of all this. But we'll be back soon with more episodes. And until next time,